Hey Team Nexus, this is United with Nexus Investments, and welcome to the Nexus Trading Room. Today I'll be going over a trade recap on trades RKT on Wednesday, Tesla and BA on Thursday, and JPM, NCLH, Roku, and Facebook today. I'm providing the videos that you can learn how to master scalping and spot when a stock is ready to go up or down. Before we start, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, and comment. All right, first up, we're going to go over RKT. And we took this trade on Wednesday. I entered into a 5 March 33 put. And in this trade, I was in for about 2 hours. I risked 2.9K. And I made $500 in the trade. Now, the technical analysis behind the trade and why I took the put was pre-market. RKT was downtrending here. As you see, it's a big sell-off. And I'm big on EMA trading. So at open, I like to watch about 30 minutes to make sure that we get a good direction to avoid any reversals. So as the price started downtrending from the 200 EMA down to the 400 EMA, it hit a little bit of support here. So in order to enter the trade, I need to ensure that the candles broke support. So as you can see, my entry was after this long red engulfing candle touched here. It opened up right below the 400 EMA and I entered the trade. Yes, it did reverse a little bit, but I wasn't really worried about it until it breaks above the previous structure. And I was expecting a little bit of resistance here at the VWAP, which is the baby blue line. We got that resistance. We broke down the 400 EMA and proceeded a little bit further. You never want to try to find the bottom. You also never want to try to find the top on spikes. You go ahead and just take what you can. I was pretty satisfied with $500. Reason why I was even priced, I submitted an order to make it $500 even, and my order filled, and I was out of the trade here at this point. The price of RKT dropped $2.71. So this trade here, I was in this trade for 2.5 hours. I risked 1.8K to make $275. And the contract that I took was the 5 March 230 put. The technical analysis behind this trade is that Boeing was making an uptrend here. And I like to wait 30 minutes to an hour, of course, before I make a decision on entering a trade. A downtrader broke all through the VWAP, the baby line, all through the moving averages, in which I set the 10 to 21 to 55, the 100, 200, and my brand new favorite EMA is the 400 EMA. Once it started breaking down below the 400 EMA, I was looking to enter the trade as it's very bearish. So I ended the trade here at this moment. It rallied up. I was expecting the rejection off the VWAP again. It came down. It retested the support. It was my chance to exit. Of course, I missed the exit when I was trying to submit my sell order. So I didn't replace the order for like a lesser. I was being a little bit greedy, so I ended up staying in the trade a little bit longer. And I had to endure this pain for the next hour and a half here. So it went down, retested again. I wasn't really satisfied with the profit. Didn't take it there at this other chance. But then I started noticing that we got here a triple bottom. So as the trade continued on, I was looking for other trades, chatting in our Discord chat group. Then I started noticing that this was forming a descending triangle, which is bearish here. And eventually, once we broke this triple bottom support, we broke down, and that's when I went ahead and I exited the trade for $275. All right, talking about this trade on Tesla. This trade was 32 minutes. I risked 1.8K to make $200. I always come back and watch Tesla. It's one of my favorite stocks I like to trade. As the day progressed, I noticed that it was forming a falling wedge, so I drew my trend lines, and I expected the trend line falling wedge breakout, so I entered the trade a little bit early. We finally got our broke out here in this candle, and when you have a falling wedge breakout, it always ends up breaking out and then retesting and then launching again. So as it broke down, I started retracing a little bit. I didn't panic, as I expected that it was going to hit this trend line again here around in this area. We got a bullish engulfing candle. It broke out, and that's when I sold here at this moment. It's $14.58 on that trade that it went up since my entry. The next trade we're going to go over is Norwegian Cruise Lines. This trade happened this morning at open. It was a 7-minute trade, risk 2.2K to make $975. This was a great trade here. It was administered by one of our members in the Discord. He said, hey, short Norwegian Cruise Line. I want to check it out. I agree with the assessment. I entered the trade really fast as a scalper. You can enter fast, you can exit fast. I had a really sharp decline here on the EMA, so I knew it was going to drop a little bit further, but I suspected. I entered the trade on this candle. It opened up bearish, spiked immediately down for the next 5 minutes, and I was already planning to exit. But I wanted to give it a chance. I'll let this candle close. Opened up a new candle, came down for a little bit, and the bull started pushing back up, and I sold her at this point. This fell $1.31. All right, this trade was a little more difficult. The implied volatility on this was very low, it was about 30, but I was made aware of this trade to short it, and by my Discord, I agree with the assessment. I entered the trade here at this red engulfing candle. It consolidated for about 15 minutes and finally broke down the consolidation further. As it broke down, I went ahead and exited the trade. It was a 20-minute trade. I risked 2.7K and I made $200 on this trade. Roku was one of those ones where I didn't get to it till a little bit later. And when I finally saw Roku started paying attention to something I wanted to trade, what I do is I'm looking at about 8 charts per tab through TradingView, and I have about 8 tabs open. So I'm looking around 64 charts at a time, just sifting through them, looking and waiting for bullish setups, taking my time, being patient. When I finally got to Roku, I'm big on EMA, so I noticed that we had a downtrend and we had an uptrend. These candles were traversing through the moving averages, rejecting support, rejecting off the 50 support, rejecting off the 200, came back down to support and broke through the 200. Once this broke through the 200, opened up a green bullish candle above the 200, I entered the trade, and it was very planned. And I was just going for a quick scalp, 10-15 minutes here. Once I got to the end, I sold right before the candle closed. I was targeting the 400 EMA here around 364, but I just felt like it was time to settle for the trade. I submitted an order to sell at an even $200 per contract. It was a 13-minute trade. I risked 1.4K for $200. Next, we're going to talk about Facebook. This trade was 43-minute trade, risk 1.3K to make $160. As this trade progressed throughout the day, it just consolidated for the rest of the day. I noticed that it was going to break these 400 EMA. That's what I was hoping it was going to break. So I was waiting. It came down. I ended the trade here. Of course, it reversed on me. I was almost ready to cut losses, but I wasn't going to cut losses until it broke the pre-market highs. It never got there, and so it reversed back down. Started getting excited in our Discord voice chat. Broke down to 400 EMA. Nice downtrend candle here. Let it ride for about 10 more minutes to see if I can get some further downside. I went ahead and exited the trade here. And that was that. A nice $160. Some of the profits that I made, this is the $200 on the Roku here. This was Thursday's profits here for a total of $975 on the day. I took 3 calls and 1 put. Here was also today's trades. I took all 3 puts here at the beginning of the day for the 1.3K. All right, that's all I have for this recap video. Get into our trading community by clicking the Discord invite link in the description so you can learn as you earn. This is a community of like-minded traders. Until next time, ensure you're always studying to perfect your craft. Trade safe, plan your trade to plan, because in the nexus, every day is payday.